I lost my will to live. And to introduce Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
And yet, like us, he soldiers on.
Welcome back to X-Play.
Spring is here, and like long dormant flowers beginning to bloom, long dormant games are beginning to re-emerge.
Yes, Sega is releasing yet another collection of its classic games. In other words, they want to make money off their old crap.
The saddest part of that, the Sonic Mega Collections sell better than any of Sega's new games.
Which should tell you a bit about how far Sega has fallen.
Now, there's another collection for old school Sega fans to get all a Twitter about.
Ooh. Here's a review of Sega Classics. The title sort of says it all.
Need to fill out the old release schedule a bit? Well, put out a retro collection. That seems to be the only explanation for Sega Classics Collection, a melting pot of 10 old-school Sega titles given three-dimensional facelifts. If anyone ever needed proof that 3D is not necessarily superior to 2D, here you go. A handful of the games are still good. Virtual Racing Flat Out is a straightforward port of the arcade game, and Monaco GP is kind enough to offer a slightly tweaked version of the old game in addition to the newfangled 3D game. Classic? Original? That can mean the same thing. You're confusing me. Tant R and Buster Brothers are the same as ever. Tant R is a proto-WarioWare with tons of weird mini-games to complete. Buster Brothers is an early attempt at stealth action as you sneak and shoot your way through various treasure-holding buildings. The 3D doesn't really help these two, but it doesn't hurt either. As for the bad, everything else. These things in Alien Syndrome used to look like monster worms. Now it looks like you're combating the results of a piñata spraying diarrhea all over a space station. Fantasy Zone is more or less intact, but moves at a slow and grinding pace with tacked-on 3D bonus stages. Outrun features some nice remixes on the radio, but butt-ugly graphics on the road. Ugh, you like Outrun? Get Outrun too. And then there's Space Harrier.
Get busy, Harriers! Dragonland is screaming!
Sure, it's ugly, but the real killer here, listen to the announcer.
It's all good. Keep on the move.
Excuse me?
It's all good. Keep on the move.
And that's when my mind snapped and I couldn't play anymore. The biggest trespass against those of us who made the long bike trek to the arcade after school with all the quarters we could scrounge jangling in our pockets is Golden Axe. Golden Axe looks and plays like it was made by the lowest bidding third grade class in a school for the blind and mentally incompetent. Or maybe these guys. Graphics this bad wouldn't have been acceptable on the PS1 in 1996. Congratulations, Sega Classics Collection. You've turned one of my favorite arcade games of all time into the digital equivalent of a left hook to the eye socket. So, Sega Classics is something of a disappointment. As such, here is an open letter to whoever makes important decisions at Sega. Dear Sega, when Sega Classics bombs, and it will, please don't take that to mean we don't want to play classic Sega games. We do, really, but half-assed PS1 quality upgrades of classic games are not classic games. Don't do that. Also, if I don't see a Shinobi collection soon, I will come to your office and crack people on the ass with a 2x4 until they pee their pants and promise to give the gamers what they want. Thank you. A 2 out of 5.
I hope you listened to Adam Sega because I loved Golden Axe and you killed it. You killed it, you cheap third-party monsters.
Sega, 3 letters for you. WTF. What are you doing to games we love? And why are you now making games like Billy Hatcher and Astro Boy for the PS2?
You have time, Ebenezer Sega. Think of us as the ghost of E3's yet to come. You can change things. You can make better games before it's too late.
You can stop whoring out Virtual Fighter to make games like Virtua Quest.
Please, Sega, listen to us. We want you to live. So don't ever do this to us again.
Give them the puppy eyes, Webb.
Never again, Sega.